I always think that I took the ideology of punk, which allowed people to operate in a certain way. A lot of them didn't need. I mean, I remember people talking about just go in and do it, make a noise, to hell with it, yeah. But they'd sit there for hours working out the bass sound. I can't do that. I really just go in there and make a noise. And I think, it's a bass sound, what do you want, you know? I mean, I don't know how to really operate the high tech. I make low tech records, I think. And Neanderthal, some people might say, Cro-Magnon. Sometimes people say, wouldn't it be wonderful if you had, you know, this kind of sound with that kind of sound and use that kind of device? And I can only ever say, well, I don't know. I mean, it depends what the musician doing it, who he was, really, or who she was. I have no feelings about the machinery on its own. It doesn't move me, it doesn't disappoint me. It's nothing.
Everybody loves me, everyone but me. It's 'cause they can't come up the earth, that's what it's got to hear. I'm nice.
Wynton Marsalis was once asked, you know, what do you think about when you're playing? And he said, music. I can't think of any other word for it. You're going through chords and melodies, sorting them out, shifting them out. It's not like a creative process in the strict sense. It is more like a retrieval process. It's as if there's a great mass of noises and words going on in the head. Well, it's not as if, there is a great mass of noises going on, I think, in all our heads all the time. And so that composing is for me a retrieval system. It's a picking out this bit and a picking out that bit and sort of pinning it down on paper or keyboard. So composing itself in a way is already a simplifying process. Just trying to pick some strands out of the clamour in the head. Things I was learning was that all attempts to imitate black Americans fail. I think it's the hardest lesson I've had to learn. And it's not a question of being English, it's just a question of being yourself. You do have to find your own voice, whatever that turns out to be. I mean, they may well have Norwegian flamenco competitions, but I would never be convinced, you know. And in the same way, so many of the things I was listening to somehow didn't have my accent. I couldn't just adopt somebody else's dialect. I had to work out my own musical dialect, really. Not for ideological reasons, not to make a point, but just to feel on top of what I was doing. Out of England and United States anyway, there's less emphasis placed on chart success as a sort of hallmark of, credibility or worthiness. I find that it's a kind of negative answer in a way. I think that England tends to, you're either in the charts or you're Mozart, really, or you're possibly the BBC Two big band. But I mean, there's I found there's a longer tradition in some other countries in Europe of listening to music which is harder to categorise. And so that just because of that, there's more openness perhaps to the kind of musicians that I've been associated with. There's more opportunity for all of us to get heard. I think it's as simple as that. Apart from the fact that extremely astute and intelligent people with clean ears that work more than halfway an inch into their heads. What can I say?
Then we found miniature sand dunes on the concrete of the balcony.
I think there's maybe something slightly wrong with me, a slight dysfunction. Like, we all need a certain amount of adrenaline. Well, that stuff, you know. Adrenaline. I never was very good at, what's that, Latin? Anyway, so we know that a certain amount of fear goes with the excitement that you need to feel to do something well. But I feel sometimes like one of those cars that you sort of pump it up to rev it up and it floods too quick and then it stops working as it should do and just simply you can't drive anywhere. I think there's something in me that happens like that. But not being a physiologist or psychologist, I don't really know. But I do find it hard. I find that the achievements of other people already are a source of total pleasure as a fan, totally intimidating as a musician. And as we all prefer pleasure to intimidation, this is, I think, why I spend most of my time just being a fan. The moment I sit down at a piano, because I've got to write a tune on it, I see the ghosts of pianists pass, sneering over my shoulder. And I almost faint with fear sometimes. It takes a certain amount of nerve just to think you can add to all that there already is, I think.
One staunch sister stays standing. One staunch sister